So we have Team Illinois, and on Team Illinois we have Mr. Luke Nichols. Luke, what role did you play?
I think I had to pass start. I don't know where it's standing right now.
That's fine.
It's like right in my face.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin.
He dropped your class.
Well, Kevin's not going to be on the team then, I guess.
I
Okay,
did warmer.
that's fine. Jerry, what role did you play?
The iteration planner.
Iteration planner. Cole,
I had the best task of being a user.
you're the user. That's impressive. Okay. And Carol, what role did you play? The what? User scribe. Fantastic. Okay, guys, take it away.
We're going to start things off strong here with the video. This is what happens when Cole drives a car. Okay?
This is what we want to prevent.
Yeah. Our software will be able to prevent this.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing there? Oh, that's your friend. Wow.
This is just to illustrate the kind of drivers that
we will be having at our school. And our school is basically, we want to be hipsters and basically bring everything, instead of being on paper, we want to make everything computerized. So that's the point of our school. And so as a user, I had to sit down, I had to get in the person, I had to become an actor. So what I decided to do was think of the stuff that, when you're sitting there, what would be the issue? And that was like, when you're there, you enter your own information, so I need the program to do that. I need to verify the ticket number, and the program should be able to re-put the input data, and that way you'll see later, it'll show which way the path it needs to take to get to the actual program the person needs to take. And then, next slide. This is what I'll need to collect from it, so I need the program to be able to say, like, what is your name, the type of car, the driver's license number, and all this other stuff. And I needed to keep track of the progress of the offender. I need a database, because with the database you need to be able to keep track of their history, and you can actually search them like, oh look, they've been here before for the same ticket, and maybe we can give that to some sort of data collection agency and we can sell their information. I don't know. Always a good thing. And it also needs a save button. That's one other feature, because we're going to try and do like a web base instead of having it like at the school itself, because it'd just be easier. So yeah, it needs to have a save button, because what if the power goes out or something like that, and then I need it to save after every module so it keeps track of the progress going on. And so we're going to have this is when I said it broke down to 3 different categories for speeding, failure to stop, and driving without a license. And for the speeding ticket, the program would then take it to watch 4 videos, or 1 video, and then they just continue to go. And they have to take 2 tests to pass. And these other ones just tell you what the next program will do. Just 2 videos, take a test. Driving without license, watch 1 video, no test, because I don't know why. So yeah. I guess there's final requirements. The final requirements is that when the person finishes the program, it needs to send an email to them and us. So the program needs to be able to do that. And then,
Yes. So basically, afterwards, the certificate needs to be sent to the state saying that they completed this, the license, they're good to go for driving again, and then the state needs to mail back, as the state said it does.
So yeah, after listening to the user needed from this program, I went back and did a couple of verifications to make sure I had the code working right. Like how do you want the offenders or students or whatever to pay for the program. And how to collect email address, because we need someone to send certificates to, and how are they going to select the courses, because if the driver just I don't know, write a bunch of stop signs, you don't want them to be able to take the class for driving without a license, because
So, quick question on that one. So if I had done, what was it, speeding, right? And there's 4 videos I have to watch. Right. So are they assigning the courses or are they assigning the videos? Maybe I should ask that.
the courses.
The courses,
The
okay.
videos.
All right, that's good. All right, keep going.
Oh yeah, and we can't have the line of our identities, so we have to go and verify the information.
Okay. This is me. This is the fast drive, so I use what they got and then I put how many days and then the priority behind it. So, first of all, we start off with collecting all the personal data, which is like all of their ticket numbers, their name, their numbers, and their address and all that shenanigans. And that would be obviously one of the top priorities because we don't want to like not know who we're servicing here. And then create a searchable database. This would take 5 days in priority. This would also be a priority 1. And that would be, that'll just be fun because then you could see who's on there and what they're doing and whatnot. And what?
And another reason the database would be important is because we previously had, well, I'm assuming as a user, I'm applying this to myself, that I'm gonna have to input the files in there. So if I can have that, like the old records which are on paper, so I wanna be able to already have that in there. So if we get the database first, that make the whole entire process go a lot quicker for me, which is why that was a good choice in doing that first.
And then now we have to decide which program suits you best. So this is gonna be deciding on what type of ticket you got, like what Carol was saying earlier. You don't want someone to be with grand stop sign, you taking the speeding course, because that's just not, that's bad news. So,
Yeah, you can't really have any of your programs set up until you have a way to just tell who goes in what program.
alright, for speeding training, this is what we got. You're gonna know the rules of speeding, and you gotta watch the 4 videos, and they're gonna be a pop-up, and you gotta import all of them. And then I came up with this good idea, make sure that they actually watch it, and then how to take a defensive driving class before you know it. Don't judge me, okay? I'm the best driver in the world. But they have like a pop-up where they make sure that you enter all your like personal information, make sure you're watching the video so you don't turn it on and like play video games or do stupid things and whatnot. So that would be a good idea. And then you take your 2 tests from that, and then depending on what score you get, you either pass or fail. If you fail, you just start over. So, yeah. The failure to stop, of course, you have to watch your 2 videos. And that would take like 4 days, priority 2, I guess. And then you have the same like pop up, and then if you fail, then you have to retake it. And the stop sign test, which would be basically the same thing, except for different types of tests. Alright. Driving without a license, 5 days, or 3.
It's the same sort of thing, but
Yeah.
really not a regular test, and just
Yeah.
make the video.
Okay, and then the progress tracker would be like storing all the times that you logged in and whatnot. And this would obviously be an important thing because you don't want to like it not to happen and you have to start over on something that you're like halfway through or whatnot. So it's gonna figure out if we save your things, and I mean that would just be helpful. So yeah. All right. So for payment, we're gonna have it like on most of those websites. You have paying Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, and stuff like that. So that would be a fun time for us to code, and we would do that, and then
Yeah, and the reason MasterCard Visa takes so long to actually get done is just because it's not just a matter of us coding on our part, it's a matter of verifying with the bank and making sure everything's correct over there. And PayPal's a shorter process, essentially you talk to PayPal, and PayPal's already verified with the bank, so it's just basically, they're kind of like the middleman between you and the bank.
And apparently we're not getting checks. So, yeah.
Checks online
This is
don't really make
21st century.
Yeah.
So then, it was my job to create the iterations, and so I took the kind of style that you did prior, I just kind of made it bigger, essentially. So I looked at the time we have basically 20 days per iteration, and well, there's 2 coders, effectively, I would say me and Luke are the coders, because we have the user, who obviously wouldn't be a coder, and then we have her, she's kind of the user story scribe, so there's 2 coders and 2 of us, so that effectively means there's, 40 days total, 40 days of man hours, factor in velocity for 0.7, and you've got 28 days of actual working time. so based on the times we came up earlier in our priorities, I decided that, we want to collect personal information up soon, we want our database, we have, start making our programs, all that kind of stuff needs to go in there. So I went, great, so how many days is that? Well, it's 28 days total, fantastic. And so we move on to iteration 2, where basically we started getting the rest of the code flushed out. We have the rest of our stop sign tests, hit our no license program, we have our progress tracker. And the autosave feature is different from the progress tracker. The progress tracker itself will let you know how to move completes. And then the autosave feature is the periodically just save on its own. And the only reason it's down here, I know it's important, when we talked about this, it's important, but essentially on the first time through, after the code's been implemented, you can kind of straight shoot it all the way through. It's a little inconvenient, but it can be done. So now, with this second iteration, the autosave will be there. And same thing with payment, like payment online would be, it's basically a convenience thing. It's not you can pay in person to get your stuff done. And so, same thing, velocity, all that stuff. This happens to be 29 days, we just went over, but we can kind of crunch it in just a little bit to get that one extra day worth. Maybe skip a lunch break here and there, get it done, so we get the code out and usable to our user as fast as possible. And so we want to get this done really quick, so we just did 2 iterations, and then we're able to ship milestone 1. Fantastic, then you go, here you go, obviously no problems with our code whatsoever, we didn't have a tester, we don't need a tester. We don't need a tester here, our code is perfect. Clearly, Jesus. And so the question is, what now? Well, now we go back in and say, how is our milestone 1? And you go, well, this doesn't work, this is buggy, I hate this, change this, add this, and we go, well, crap, our code is perfect. No. So we go back, we fix everything you need, we send it back at milestone 2, we just keep going back and forth until you have the code that you actually want.
I hear a lot of them.
I mean, it could be.
But, and as you can probably tell, or at least when I was listening, there's probably, this is my fault, a few issues with the company itself. It's web-based, and I had it in there, I want to verify their identity, which I would be difficult to do. I was assuming they'd have to come there and say, oh, look, it's me, and then they could get some code or something like that. But, again, that's what the first iteration is for. So,
Now, having known that, we can go back and change that.
and they could probably come away with, for them to program, I guess, to verify it. I'm not really sure. So, yeah.
Is that it?
Alright.
Team, good job. Do we have questions for Team Illinois? It looked like iteration 2 was pretty well packed. I think it was like, what, 29 days?
29 days.
Gotcha. Now, you would assume that after you got done with iteration number 1, there would be some testing done, right? There would be some bugs.
There would be,
There would
but.
be bugs that would be showing up. Right. That would be showing up, and you would want to get those taken care of in your iteration 2, which would put even more work in iteration 2, right? So it's already overloaded, and you're fixing bugs in it. It sounds like it's going to be overloaded, right?
Right.
Almost seems like that would be a spillover, and almost in iteration 3, right? Okay, and then of course, iteration 3 will have bugs from iteration 2, right? So really a combination of that. So you can do everything, of course, but it does look like you've sort of overloaded the task.
And that's fair, maybe you can customize.
Did the user provide you with the data still when the user wanted to have the code?
Extra eyes, so everyone's
We were just assuming on eyes.
So you could have added 20 iterations. in
Oh,
the
yeah, we were working on it as soon as possible.
You always have that little triangle that says if you want it cheap, well-built, all that. The longer they take, the cheaper it is.
That you would think, but I don't know about that one. But. Are there any questions from Team Illinois? Going once, going twice? Gentlemen, ladies, good job, very good job. All right, fantastic. So we have Team Pennsylvania. On Team Pennsylvania, we have Dania. What role, whatever, it's all good. Talk to the lady next to you. What role did you play?
The user.
User, so you are the user. Travis?
I'm the iteration planner.
Iteration planner, excellent, fantastic. Tyler?
User scribe.
User scribe. User scribe. Kayla?
Task scribe.
Test scribe, excellent.
Task.
Task, I'm sorry, pardon me, my bad. And Mr. Woolwine?
Tester.
Tester, excellent, fabulous. All right, team, take it away.
Okay, so our situation was we have a pizza store. It's called
and we have breadsticks in 3 different sizes with a variety of flavors. And since it's been growing, we've been getting a lot more customers, and we've run into some problems. There's been some confusion with the orders, that we don't know where to go, or who it's going to, or if it's drive-through or online. And so we need an ID for this. And we have timing where if we run less than 2 pizzas of cheese or pepperoni, we need to make 10 more, and we need a way to do this. And we recently added online. So if customers order online, we want to follow up the next day and let them take a survey. And if they do this, we give them a 20% off coupon. So that's basically what I wanted from them. And so my requirements were, I wanted an automated tracking system with, I have a 60-day limit, and I wanted to keep track of payment and where it was going.
Alright, so as a user scribe, I had the pleasure of working with a wonderful user here. Going back to the whole 60-day limit thing, I think that's a little bit too short, but you know, it is what it is, and we're in the city of brotherly love, and there's a lot of people, so I mean, take it as you know, we need it fast. So, sitting down with her, ironing out like what's important and what's not, she decided that the order confusion of like where each piece is gonna go, and like all the different ways of ordering that, she decided that was gonna be number 1. Then we sat down with the timing, like the checking the inventory, where it's like, if you get to a certain amount of pieces, you need to check the inventory to see if there's any more available that you need to make. And so that was number 2. And then number 3 was the online follow-up. So what she wanted was, after everyone came in and ordered and had a visit, she wanted to give them, let them complete a survey and tell them like if their experience was satisfactory or whatnot. And then everyone who completed a survey, she wanted to send a 20% coupon to for like your next order. And so going back to the 60-day period, we gave 30 days for the first one, 20 for the second one, and 10 for the third one. And then I broke it down into tasks, like big tasks. So they, in moderation, we wanted the ordering options, the pizzas, the breadsticks, the online, the order ID, and the payment options. And we gave that, all those, a total of 37 days.
Alright, so I broke these big tasks into little baby tasks, and I didn't take little baby tasks and just those little baby tasks. Ordering, you have to have your pizza and breadsticks, order ID is a walk-in, online, phone, and drive-through. Planning your inventory. When there are 2 cheese pizzas, when there are 2 cheese and pepperoni pizzas left, that's like 10 more. And then later do your online follow-up, you have to send 20% coupon. And click this, scroll a little bit. You can see that I broke everything down. Pizza, you have to break it down in size, small, medium, large, you have the toppings, cheese, sauces, meats, veggies, and then breadsticks, which is pretty simple. You have small, medium, large, and then your flavors. Order time, to order you have to put in your name, your number, your order of course, and check the inventory to see if there's a pieces left. If you have 2 or more cheese or pepperoni pizzas, you have to pay. Of course, you can pay by check, cash, or credit. And then you have to get your order ID, which is whether it's walk-in, drive-through, online, or phone. And set the inventory. And the last part is the online follow-up. You're going to send a survey the next 24 hours later and send a 20% coupon when you complete it.
As the task or the iteration planner, before I began setting up the iterations, I had to factor in velocity to particular tasks. So by doing that, I took the number of days that each one took and then divided it by the velocity to give me a new time, a better estimate, so you can see the order confusion now so it's 21 days, ordering pizza is 17. So it just added a few more days on each one.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. Could you go back one slide? What were exactly break sticks? Ah,
There, you know, everyone's got to take breaks. Got back to that. So actually setting the iterations up, I had to set them up to meet the customer's needs, what they wanted first, and shorter time constraints, so they were great. Consistency works. So we go on to the next one. So I switched up a little bit. I did a 30-day iteration for the first one just because there was a little bit more that was required. So there were two coders that we had, so I had to factor in velocity for the amount of time that they would actually be working. Got a total of 42 days. So the total of everything we were putting into iteration 1 was taking 35 days, so that gave us a little extra time to fix the bugs and testing and And iteration 2, it was 20 days, and a total of 28 days for the coders. And the total ended up being 24, which again gave us a little bit more time to fix bugs and for testing.
Okay, for my part, I was a tester, and I met with strategy and trying to decide on what to test, and we went through the main problems. And so so that's what we had to test. We test order ID for order pizza, payment, order ID for order credit fix, and the online follow-up as well as the check inventory system. For the test 1, we started with order fusion with both all three, walk-in, phone, and drive-through. So we tested the new ID system by ordering many different types of pizzas, and we tested the ordering system through the different ordering. So each of the phone, the walk-in, and the drive-through. For the payment, we reviewed the payment process, and we ordered using cash, credit card, check, and we gave feedback to each one. For the second test, we analyzed the timing for the walk-in, how long it takes, and also for restocking, how long that takes. For the online follow-up, we went to the surveys, code, make sure everything worked on the online part. And then check inventory, we tested the process, made the pizza since we ran low, and saw how they could. And finally, we tested the system store, and we tested ways to improve the system.
So in the end, I have to give them a little bit more time, but I paid them less, so it's okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Excellent, good job, guys. Do we have any questions for Team Pennsylvania? Yeah, it looks like in iteration number 2 you used 30 days. I assume that you're trying to get it done in a month. But 30 days means that your developers are actually working on the weekends.
What's that?
So you used 30 days on iteration 1, I think. Iteration 2 you used 20 days, which makes sense because that's weekdays. But it looks like on iteration 1 you're having to work on weekends. Or else you spill it into another month.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, no, we can look at that. Okay, so
Sleep on signatures while they work.
all right, well, excellent.
Good sleep on them.
That sounds fun. Questions?
I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you want us to email you the slides?
Sure, go ahead. That'd be great. All right, guys, good job. Well done.